convenience, allowing those who are unable to attend to listen to the recordings after the meetings. The recordings will be publicly available on the ISO webpage for a limited time following the meetings. The recordings and any related transcription should not be reprinted without the ISO's permission. We have the following agenda today. We'll talk about map stage and stage availability. We'll talk about known issues for ADS, the ADS replacement transition and prerequisite for production connectivity. Then we'll talk about independent 2020 releases, structured scenario registration details, talk about the initiatives and timelines, and then we'll talk about separate initiatives under independent 2020 releases. And then we'll talk about next steps. Map stage availability can also be checked at portalmap.kaiser.com in real time. And currently we have the following maintenances. In map stage on 10.7 to 10.9 till tomorrow, we have a CMRI UI API closure. There's no outage currently for stage. For stage upcoming maintenances on 10.8, starting today to Monday 10.12, ADS UI API intermittent interruptions. That's all on availability today. Do you have any questions on this? All right, moving on. We just have one item for ADS as known issue right now. It's the movement of profiles for users using the new ADS. Moving the profiles from one environment that is map stage to stage or to production. So please let us know, create a CD ticket, and we will move your profile so that you don't have to recreate it again in every environment. Moving on. ADS replacement transition. I'll invite Trang to give an update on this replacement transition.
Thank you, Anshuman. So this is, or for those of you that are impacted and following along with ADS, thanks for staying tuned in. We've been communicating updates through the TUG, the market sim calls, and then the release user group, and trying to get all of the latest information into the latest forums. So what I'll do is, instead of going through in detail, I just want to touch on a few updates and then reminders on the ADS production transition. So again, as most of you may be aware, the production transition that was targeted for the 7th and the 8th this week will actually be shifted to Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, the 13th and the 14th. And most critically, we are asking for customers to perform production connectivity tests as a prerequisite to our transition to minimize the impact of these activities to your operations, even if you're not transitioning to the new ADS next week. Okay, so we have updates on the timing here, and then so the timing for ADS will be between 11:15 and 11:40 on both days, the 13th and the 14th. And then if you go to the next slide, Anshuman, I'll just call out some other reminders and updates. Okay, so for here, there's not a lot of new information, just the date, the note of the date change, as well as what operators should observe during that time, and how we're managing operations functionality after our transition. And then there's also availability expectations for features in ADS that are communicated here. Most notably, we'll be supporting all of the API versions that are listed here. And then we have a further breakdown of data and functionality that will be available after the transition. So if you can go forward, Anshuman. All right. So a lot of detail here, no changes. I think the only reminder here is that for for the production transition, phase 1 and phase 2, from 10:30 to 12:30 in the middle of the day on Tuesday and Wednesday. We will have a customer bridge open on both of those days for that transition. That will be on the public calendar. We'll also provide a market notice and customer communication with that bridge information. So please look on the public calendar as well as through the customer communication notices that you'll receive to announce that information. Okay. So, Instrument, can you continue, please? All right. So these are the most critical items. Again, the hard prerequisite for our transition activities to begin on the 13th is there have been several notices. I think the last one was as of yesterday that was sent out to all the ADS users to remind folks to perform production connectivity from the workstations or that you use ADS on to confirm successful connectivity before we begin this. So we are also monitoring on our side and doing outreach as well as we have a team that's dedicated to resolving any of these connectivity issues that you may experience. So please do reach out to us for any issues or questions that you have, but do take into account and then treat this with priority for the cutover. Okay, so we can move on, Instrument. All right, so this is more just reminders from the notice that's going to be here in the presentation for reference, so we can move on to the next slide, Instrument. Okay, and then we did clarify in the notice as well as put here for your reference what to expect for that production connectivity. So the error messages that you should receive, and then anything outside of that, you should let us know so that we can work with you to resolve and confirm your connectivity. So we can move on, Instrument. All right. So this slide here distinguishes between the two different phases on the Tuesday and Wednesday for the cutover, which will have bridges open and communicate with you and verify your connectivity during that time during the transition. So we can move on, Instrument. Okay, for the features that will be available, this is the breakdown and the expectations. Most of the items that will be available after phase 2 on the 14th, and then the AIM-ACL feature will be available on the 13th or phase 1. All right, so we can move forward. Okay, and then this is just a slide that you should be familiar with the updates for the phase 1 and phase 2 in production. And if you could go on. This is the last slide for ADS right now, which is just a reminder of the IPs and the URLs for production, and this is all included in the outreach to tie everything together, but we'll leave that here for reference. And then a note here for ECN users, most of you that have had questions have already reached out to us, and I think that we've confirmed or clarified the ECN expectations, but if there are other questions on ECN, please do submit a city and or contact the service desk for more details on that. Okay, so I think that's the last slide for the ADS production updates. Does anybody have any open questions or comments on that? Okay, I do want to let customers know one other thing is we plan to send out a notice by tomorrow or Monday at the latest to confirm the plan and again send out the bridge information and details, but please feel free to reach out to us anytime, even before that notice or after, with additional questions. Okay. Right, that's all I had, Instrument.
All right, thank you, Trang. If anybody has any questions for Trang, we can spend some time here to answer those questions for ADS. All right, moving on, talk about the independent 2020 releases. So the date of registration for independent 2020 release is October 9, 2020, so by tomorrow. So please send out your registration request at marketsim@kaiser.com. We have a few changes on the timelines for different releases. The Nodal pricing model was initially slated to run the structured scenarios on 10/27. We moved it up on 10/20. So 12 days from now, we'll run the structured scenario for that project. Also for hybrid resources phase 1, we have decided to make the testing for this project as unstructured. So it was TBD before, and now we have made sure that this is unstructured. The market simulation settlements calendar is available at the link mentioned here below for your review. Any questions on the timelines? All right, moving on. Aliso Canyon Phase 5, the testing timelines are October 13 to October 28, and BRS specifications are available at the following location. FRP improvements, buffer and min. The structured scenario document is available at the following link, and we'll be doing the testing between October 13th and October 28th. We did do the pre-market sim testing for this project, and testing was looking good. So we are ready for October 13 market sim for this project. Please look out for a new updated market scenario document for this one. We're probably going to change a few wordings of how it will help market participants to review the results on the OSS website. So we'll have more wordings in there. Energy imbalance market enhancements 2020. The timeline for testing is October 19 till October 30 for CMRI. BOP and BSAP they're currently available in map stage to test them out. The unstructured scenarios document is available at the following link.
Hey, Anshuman, this is Chunyu. I do have a question regarding to the FRP. When do you expect the structured test scenarios will be updated?
We are hoping to get that document out as soon as possible by end of today or by end of tomorrow. The structured scenarios are going to be almost same. We are just going to add more information on how the results can be reviewed.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you. Hybrid resources phase 1. The testing can be done between October 26th to November 13th. I have one here from PSTD, from KAISO. Maybe Juan, would you mind giving a little background about this project, about hybrid resources phase 1? Juan, you're on mute, so you can do *6 or press the space bar.
Okay, can you hear me guys now?
Yes.
Okay, so this is Juan Alvarez, PSTD. So for the hybrid resources phase 1, we expect it to be available for unstructured testing starting on October 26th. And the functionality that will be available is a limited functionality will be the full functionality, but still is missing all the screens that you will be able to see on the market side. And also, it's not going to be available the warnings when market participants want to create manual dispatches on resources that are in that are part of the collocated ACC constraint. So what will be available for testing, or what you can verify on your side, is for all the resources that are collocated under the same ACC constraint, you will be able to observe in the day ahead and in the real-time market that the awards are within the limits of the ACC constraint. So we wanted to know that, so you will not be expecting to see any screens on the market applications or any warnings when creating manual dispatches for these resources.
All right, thank you, Juan, for the background. Does anybody have any questions for Juan here?
So, Juan, I have a question. This is Chunyu from PG&E. So if we're not able to see anything from the applications on the portal, and what shall we be expecting?
Right. So, for instance, in this case, the way you can check that the application is doing what it's supposed to be doing is you know which one are your resources that are part of the ACC constraint. If you want to do your testing, what you can do is you can submit very economical bids to ensure that the resources are awarded. And once you receive the dispatches in day-ahead or in real time, or the awards in day-ahead and dispatches in real time, you should be able to see that the combined output for the resources under the same ACC constraint are respecting the ACC constraint. Just give a simple example. Assuming you have a renewable resource and a charging or a battery. Say if your battery is fully charged and you have a forecast on your solar or wind resource, and then your battery is fully charged and the Pmax of that battery combined with the maximum output of your renewable will be more than the ACC constraint. And if you put economic bids on both of the resources that are very, very cheap to ensure that both resources are dispatched, you'll see that the resources will not be dispatched at their full capacity, indicating that the binding is the ACC constraint. Okay. That's one way that you can validate it.
That's helpful. And is the ACC constraint information, it can be obtained from Oasis or CMI? That information?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know this information comes through the master file. So
okay.
Yeah, that information of the ACC constraint is going to be through the master file that is going to be limited.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, Juan, and thank you, Chinu, for your question. We can spend a couple of minutes more if anybody has any more questions for Juan here. All right. You can feel free to, send email at marketsim.kaiser.com for any questions for Juan, and we'll forward it to him. Or you can log a CD ticket. Moving on to the next one. Commitment costs and defaults energy bid enhancements. The testing timelines are July 27 to November 24th, and the training document for this project is available at the following link. Nodal pricing model. The timeline is October 6th to November 13th, and it was previously decided that we'll perform the structured scenario on October 27th, which has been moved up to October 20. So this date is changed to October 20 now to perform the structured scenario, and the structured scenario documents are available at the following location. Intertie deviation settlements. The timeline to test this is October 20 to November 20, and the structured scenario document is available at the following location. Symmetrical mailing.
Can I ask another question about CC Devi?
Please go ahead.
This is Chinu. Yeah. Do we have any CC Devi team people there? As I believe it's more than a week ago, we did ask Kaiser as how to test the real-time ex ante, and the answer we got was that you guys still waiting for a code from the vendor. So we haven't heard anything yet. So I just wonder if anyone that from the project it's there and able to answer whether you have received a code from your vendor to deploy into the map stage.
Hi, Chenu. This is Chang.
Hi.
I'm not sure if the project team members are on, but I know that we were expecting cyber business rules changes that we have not yet moved to map stage, and the team committed to finalizing that schedule and setting that expectation. And then once that does go, then we will communicate in the market sim call the target date as well as when it actually goes in and is available for testing. But we don't have a target yet, but we did just talk about that yesterday with the team, and that's the current status. So hopefully we'll have, we tried to have an update on today's call for the ETA for map stage for those rules, but we don't have an update yet, so we're hoping by Monday call that we'll have a better ETA.
Great. Thank you. Thanks for, we'll look forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on. The Energy Imbalance Market Enhancements 2020, the testing timelines is October 19 to October 30. I thought we covered that. I'm sorry. Give me a minute. All right, I'll just talk about this again. The FRP improvements buffer and min, timeline October 30 to October 28. The structured scenario documents are available at the following location. Energy Imbalance Market 2020, the unstructured scenario document is available at the following link. And the testing timeline is between October 19 to October 30. Hybrid resources, we just talked about it. Thank you, Juan, for giving up some more information on this. Commitment cost and default energy bid enhancements. The timeline is between July 27 to November 24th, and training document available at the following link. Nodal pricing model. We're moving the structured timeline from October 27 to October 20. The structured scenario document is available at the following link. I'll also try to get an SME next time to talk more about Nodal pricing model project, and market participants can ask questions during that time. Intertide deviation settlements project, October 20 to November 20. The structured scenario document is available at the following location. Symmetrical mailing. The business requirement specification document is available at the following link. And testing timelines between October 20 to November 20. For settlements Q4 winter release, we had the following milestones. The first draft of technical documentation for IDS and day-ahead Nodal project was posted on 10th of August. First draft configuration output file, initial release component summary was posted on 25th of August. And the second draft configuration file, second draft tech documents, updated release components were posted on 14th of September. The third draft supposed to be posted on 9th of October, upcoming tomorrow. Map stage deployment was performed on 6th of October, and connectivity testing for PAC is scheduled between 13th of October to 21st of October. Structured scenarios, as I mentioned before, previous date was 10/27, but we have moved it up to 10/20, and we can do structured scenario testing until 4th of November. The technical documentation for winter 2020 settlements release is available at the following link. Any questions on this winter release plan? All right, this is all I had for today. Our next meeting is on October 12th, Monday. I'll open up this platform for any questions from market participants, any concerns regarding CD tickets, or any questions. To unmute yourself, you can press *6 or spacebar. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining this call. We'll talk again on Monday, October 12th. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.